sins in the hearts of men. Every rapper that rap ain't celebrity.
You're tuned in to Two Cynics in a Pod with your hosts Gotham Green and Martin Arsenault, a weekly drop-in on a conversation between two friends of over 20 years.
Greetings and salutations, Gotham Green.
Mara, what up, brother?
Hey, man, how's it going?
It's going, man. It's going. It's been a long week already. How's it going with you?
I think that's an appropriate answer. It's kind of same. I feel like that's such a loaded question for anyone, where it used to just be like a question where you weren't kind of expecting an answer. It's like, oh, hey, how are you? I'm great. How are you? Like small talk. Now it's like, this is all so overwhelming.
Right. How much time you got?
Yeah. Do you really want to know?
Yeah, dude. It's coming from all angles, I think, too, right? Like, it's just, it's crazy, right? Yeah, it's a loaded question these days, but, it is what it is. I'm doing okay. And I hope the same for you, my brother.
How is stuff with your wedding invitations? Have you gotten those back yet, or majority of them yet?
Yeah, so that's part of the stress. This shit is stressful, dude. The whole thing is stressful. I'm coming down to like the home stretch almost. We're a little bit more than 8 weeks out. And so like you start to feel the pressure, meaning like, look, my girl is a rock star. She's got everything so well organized that without her, I think I might have said this to you before, but without her, I'd be having a wedding at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I swear to God, my shit would be a disaster. I now see how important it is. But, woo, these fucking RSVPs, man. Look, here's the thing, right? I sent out invitations in February, and I asked for people to send me back my invitations on April 4th, right? It's now a few days past April 4th, right? And we got most of them. Most of the people did what they were supposed to do. We appreciate that. We love you. There are some people that have not sent this fucking RSVP, Mart. Not only that, I've reached out to them. It's like, and it's not even like, it would be one thing if it was like my mom's friend who I haven't seen since I was like 11 years old. You know what I mean? Like, right. That lady wants to take forever. Cool. This is like very like close family. Like, I got first cousins. They haven't sent the fucking RSVP back.
That's wild.
I have a cousins group chat. I think if you know Gotham Green at all, I hate fucking group chats. I got a cousins group chat. To be nice, I put in there, hey, just want to check in. This is weeks ago. Just want to check in, make sure everybody got the invitation. Because I had sent out the save the date. You had gotten that save the date text. I don't know if you remember, but in February, you got a save the date text. And man, people were hitting me back like, yo, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, yo, I'm going to send you the wedding invitation, which whatever. So a few weeks ago, I send this message. Hey, just trying to be nice. Hey, just want to make sure. Going against everything I stand for. Like going against every fiber of my being. Because you know me, dude. All I want to do is send a sarcastic ass text or like some mean-spirited, jokey shit.
Yeah, and you hate the group chats. Like, I can't.
I fucking hate it.
I've spent weekends with your cousins and hung out with a bunch of your cousins. That like, it's probably a pretty big group chat, right?
Yeah. There's like 15 of us, 20 of us in there because now people are married and shit. There's 13 of us on one side, right? But like, it's funny that you say that. It's huge because it's not. And I learned that when I got with my girl. My girl has 80 cousins on one side.
Oh my God.
Right? So we used to we still do. I mean, my family's big, but like we used to be like, haha, I got a big family. She came through, met my people and was like, this ain't shit. Like, I remember we had she came to a party one time. I think we went to Dallas. Might have been the first time we went to Dallas. And she was at a party, and it's a big party at my uncle's house and shit. And like at least 150 people there. This is a house party, like for like some Indian celebration, like a holiday or whatever. And I was like, yeah, like this is pretty much the size of like a party. She was like, oh, and like this is big, and really, I mean, this is big for us, like whatever. And she's like, this ain't shit. This is like Tuesday for us.
She's like, this is cute.
She was like, this is like Tuesday for us. I think that's pretty much the exact word she used. It was literally, this is like a Tuesday. I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, so getting back to the point, dude. So you know me, I want to send this fucking sarcastic ass text message or like some snarky shit. And instead, I send this nice message. And people are like, yeah, I got it. Like, da-da-da. If I'm asking you if you got it, that means, motherfucker, send me RSVP.
Yeah.
Like, I got family sending me pictures. Got it, love it. All right, cool, bro. Like, I don't need the picture. Send the fucking RSVP. Now, it's funny because, like, I know some of these people who haven't sent it. I know they're coming, right? Like, this is my direct family. I know you're coming. And not only do I know that just because I know you're my family, I'm getting regular updates from the hotel block. It's like the hotel's sending me the listing of who's booking hotels. So, like, yo, I know you booked a hotel. Why can't you send me the fucking RSVP?
That's wild
like,
that some of them have booked a hotel but have not RSVP'd.
Yo, mad people have done that on both sides. Both sides. Yo, look, not for nothing, man. Like, it's annoying just because it holds up shit. Like, people don't understand. Like, yo, I can't figure out these tables till I know who the fuck is coming. I can't invite other people until I know who's not coming. You know what I mean? Like, yo, when we first started to get no's, we were sending out, like, I don't want to call them B list, but like, let's call it A.2 list, right? Like, we had the main list. Yo, and I'm not trying to be like, whatever. Brother, my wedding's 300 people. Like, it was tough. Yo, like, we had to like really prioritize. Yo, we got a huge family. She's got 80 on one side, cousins. Like, you know what I mean? I got mad extended family. My mom's one of 6. Like, so it's a big list. And so, yo, you're holding shit up. And my thing is, bro, I wouldn't do that to somebody. Like, so just send the fucking RSVP. So that shit is like right now the main source of my fucking stress, where I'm just like, yo, send this fucking RSVP. And not only that, why don't you just text me? Like, some people have, and I appreciate it. Like, I hit them like, yo, did you get the invite? And they're like, yo, I got it, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to send the RSVP, but all 4 of us are in. Like, families, you know what I mean? And so I respect that. Whether I get that shit today, next week, cool. I got the text message that says you're coming. Yeah. So, all right, at least I know that. But then there's people who, like I said, dude, they'll just reply on some, like, trying to be funny shit. And I'm like, now's not the time to try to be funny. And so I want to send, like, not necessarily to my direct first cousins. Like, I'm going to let them live. I know they're coming. I'm not mad at them. But there are other people who I've reached out to, and they're like, yo, let me let you know. And this is, again, before the date it was due. Like, yo, let me let you know. I just got to talk to whatever, my spouse or my significant other, my family, and find out whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. Well, let me know. All right, give me a couple days. Yo, it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from you. You tell me you got to talk to your spouse. I don't understand. You cannot just roll over. You can't just roll over in bed one night and be like, yo, it's G's wedding. Are we going to New York? What the fuck? It's June. Like, I'm not asking you to take your kids out of school. Their kids are grown, but like, who I'm thinking about. But like, what the fuck? So I want to start sending, I'm not going to, but I might. I really might do it. And like my girl's the best. Cause like, if it wasn't for her too, I would have sent these fucking messages. I want to send messages and be like, hey, so like, since it's like a week past the date that we needed the thing by, I'm just going to assume it's a no. So you know what? To make it easy for you, don't even come.
Oh man, that's a bad move in my opinion.
No, I'm not going to do that. But my mind wants to do that.
You could frame it in a like a more pleasant, passive aggressive way.
But here's the thing, bro. Why? Why should I be see, this is the thing. Why am I the one chasing you down? Why do I got to be polite about it? Why? Yo, like, what the fuck? You know what it is. These are all grown-ups. Like, I'm not sending an invitation to an 11-year-old by themselves and be like, yo, where the fuck's my RSVP? Like, these are people in their 50s. They got grown kids. Yeah. Come on, dude. It's I got to do this. Yo, and the last thing I also want to do, which, yo, it's fucked up, but I've had to do it. I got to talk to my mom and be like, yo, mom, can you reach out to so-and-so? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I got my mom who's in her 70s chasing you down.
Yeah, that's ludicrous.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, so anyways, I'm excited. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. We got your RSVP. Your shit came in before the due date. This guy, yo, you're in my wedding. You're in my wedding party. And you send me your RSVP like before I get it from guests? The fuck are we talking about? But
And you told me I didn't even need to get it to you.
You didn't. Why would you need to get it to me when I
just wanted to make you guys feel a little better because you said so many people weren't.
No, we felt better. No, we felt better. No, it made me feel a lot better. I appreciate that. No, it felt like when you were like, yeah, I'll help your music career along. And I was like, oh, excellent. This guy's finally going to save me. No, dude. I'll tell you some positive shit though. Like this past weekend, we just did like the final food tasting for the reception and shit. So that was fun.
Oh yeah.
And so, look, again, like I'll always lean on like I'm a last minute type of dude. Like whatever. And so my girl was like, "Yo, we're gonna have signature drinks." Signature drinks is a thing. I don't know if you knew this, but like signature his and her drinks is like a thing now. Like everybody does it.
Okay.
Cool. I drink tequila and ice, bro. So
no
sometimes
soda or anything.
Sometimes I throw soda in there. Sometimes I throw.
Is that your signature drink? Is tequila?
Nah. So you know what's funny, dude?
Tequila
so I used
neat.
To drink. So I used to drink. Nah, I can't drink it neat. So and people are gonna kill me on that. But no, I don't drink it neat. But no, I used to drink straight tequila and ice, right? And you know, like, look, you have enough. Like tequila's great because tequila's the only upper alcohol, so it's like you don't get a hangover. That's why I like tequila a lot. I switched to it. It's really all I drink now. But you drink enough of anything, you can start getting aggressive, right?
Yeah.
So there was like a couple nights where I had like maybe 2 or 3 too many tequilas, and I was like, yeah, being aggressive, like just when I'm talking to people or how I'm interacting. And so my girl was like, yo, I'm gonna need you to chill the fuck out on that just tequila and ice shit. Just like throw some soda in there, put a mixer in there or whatever. So she actually helped me because number one, I could drink more now. And number two, I don't get nearly as aggressive. And so it's cool. And
tequila straight up will make even the calmest person aggressive.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so like I'd be on stage and I'd just be like fucking screaming at the crowd. Like, I'd come off stage and be like, that was a terrible set. And then I watch the set back and I'd be like, oh, it's terrible because you're fucking berating people. Like you know what I'm saying? You can't be yelling at somebody for whatever it may be because they're wearing a green shirt. Like green's your favorite color, guy. What's going on? You know what I mean? But so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, tequila and soda is not really like a signature drink or whatever, right? So we go to the tasting, and the first thing they ask us is, did you guys think about the signature drinks? Now, of course, my girl, who's a fucking rock star and is ready for any question at any time, so that's how organized she is, it's like, yeah, of course I thought about my drink. She had a fucking recipe ready to go and shit like this. I was like, God damn. And so I was like, yo, I didn't even really think about much. So the bartender's like standing by the table or whatever, and I was like, hey, so I drink tequila. Why don't you just make like some tequila cocktail that you think would be good and let me see how it is. Maybe I'll use it. And so the lady was like, I got you, right? It's like this lady was waiting to hear this for years. Like she's been waiting on this
finally.
Question, right? Yeah, finally somebody's gonna let me free with tequila. Like, because we're getting married at a country club. So like, think about it. Like that chick's not making fucking fun ass cocktails all day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So my girl has like a vodka Saint Germain drink that she like that's her thing. Like she loves that shit. And so her drink was good. Anyway, so this bartender comes back and she brings a strawberry, like a muddled strawberry tequila concoction. Yo, it was so fucking good. It was so good, Mart. And the girl's like, yo, I love making this. Like when people say they don't know what they want, this is my go-to, da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh, it's amazing. She's like, if you want another one, she's like, I made more just in case you want another one, whatever. I was like, all right, let me see. Because I had to drive or whatever. But we were there for hours. So I ended up having to. But I told the lady straight up, I was like, yo, I'm going to have this be my signature cocktail. And she's like, oh, that's great, whatever. And so I was like, yo, I'm going to need the recipe. She's like, don't worry, I'll make it. Yo, lady, I need the fucking recipe because it's got to go on this fucking sign, right? So, like, this chick didn't want to give up the recipe. Hey, all right, relax, yo. What do you think? I'm going to go fucking start a bar off this fucking tequila drink? Like, you'll be all right. You know what I mean?
You're like, I'm not a bartender. Don't worry. I don't own a restaurant. Don't worry.
Come on, lady. And it ended up being super simple. It's fucking muddled strawberries, basil, tequila, like, Contro and something else. Like,
now she definitely hates you.
Fuck her, I don't care. Like it's gonna be on the sign, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be on my sign at my wedding. But no, it's fucking delicious, and she was happy about it or whatever. Because at the end, like homeboy, who's like our, you know, the rep from the place or whatever, he's sitting with us going through all the menu like stuff, and we're trying food and shit. At the end, he was like, "Yo, so when you get the sign for the thing, let us know." And I was like, well, I can't get the sign until she gives me the fucking recipe. And so then he called her over and she understood. I don't know if she understood when I was asking for it. I think she thought I was just trying to steal her recipe.
Right.
And then she realized, oh, wait, it's for the wedding, like signature drink, yada, yada, yada. So then she gave it to us. But that shit was mad fun because I'm fucking trying delicious ass food. You're gonna love the food. There's mad fucking stations, pass out shit. It's a lot. It's gonna be nice. And so that's awesome, dude. Like I did my final fitting for my suit last week. So shit's moving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like shit is really moving, and we're knocking off like to-do list items left and right. And so it's positive in that sense. And I'm excited, dude. But like, you know, I think I'm more excited for June 8th than I am for June 7th. And that's not to say that I'm not excited for the wedding. I'm super duper excited for the wedding itself, the party and all that. But I'm more so looking forward to like when it's all over and being just like, all right, cool, we're married. And like now we can just kind of get back to us. You know what I'm saying? Because this is everything, dude. I come home, there's questions, you know what I mean? Like I'm on my way home, there's questions. I have questions for her too. It's not like a one-way street. Like there's shit that I need to deal with. There's like, I have responsibilities that I got to deal with. I got to start talking to transportation guys and all this type of shit. So like, there's just always something. And so I'm looking forward to the day where it's just like, oh shit, babe, we don't have to talk about chicken or fish. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the fucking question may be. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, so stressful, all of that. It is so stressful planning a wedding, even if it's a small one. Like, oh my, it just doesn't matter. I don't think.
No, yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it matters in the sense that like, it's the planning is still essentially the same, right? The wrangling of people, maybe that's a little bit less. The dollars are definitely less. The places that you can go into are more because you have less people, so you can go into different types of venues. But yeah, dude, you still got to plan the ceremony, the reception, the outfits, the food, the alcohol, the party, the this, that. You know what I mean? So it doesn't change. It's like, it's all the same, dude.
And it's supposed to be like the happiest day of your life, so that just makes it, you just want to make it the best, and that's stressful.
Yeah, no, that's facts. That's facts. Now, I'm confident that it's going to be a phenomenal party and it's going to be great and the whole week is going to go great or whatever, but she's stressed, which is, that's, you know what I mean? That's normal. Because her stress also lies in, my stress more so lies in, I'm ready for this to be over. Her stress lies in, what if it doesn't go off the way I'm thinking about it in my brain? Or what if there's an issue? Or what if something happens like during the day of, like, how do you fix that? And I mean, like, I get it. And I try to tell her like, yo, don't worry about that. It's not going to happen. Like, I can fucking say that all day. What does that mean? Like, I can't assure her that nothing is going to happen. She'd be like, all right, asshole. Like, you tell me nothing's going to happen. When it fucking happens, what are you going to say?
Right.
So I get that level of stress on that side as well. It's weird, right? Because it's like, it's almost like this wedding, it's our wedding, right? But like this, nobody ever goes to a wedding and thinks, oh, the groom did a terrible job of planning this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't have my signature on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be a forgotten thought after, you know what I mean? Not to her, but like to most people, I think about what the fuck I'm doing at this wedding. And they're definitely not thinking I had anything to do with any of this shit, right? So it's like almost like her name is on it. And so I get it. Like, I can get wanting to make sure it goes off without a hitch.
Yeah.
And that's tricky, right? Because there's always going to be a hitch. You know what I mean? The fuck. And yo, one thing is too, she's not a bridezilla, which I love. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's cool. Like, my girl's cool. And so that helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because I don't respond well to Zilla shit. You know what I mean?
That's great. No, that's great. It sounds like she's an amazing planner, so that helps just in general.
Absolutely, dude. She's a savior. She's a savior. But I can stop, we can stop fawning over her. She's good. You know? She knows who she is. But yeah, man, I mean, that's that right now. I got softball season coming up. That shit's about to start. So I'm looking forward to that, being outside. It's fucking winter here still, by the way. I don't know what it is where in Portland, you're wearing a jacket. So maybe it's cold, but it's
still
fucking
chilly,
back to winter.
Yeah, I've got my military industrial complex jacket on in celebration of the new $1 trillion budget that we're about to blow.
It looks like a mix between like a Tide bottle, the NASCAR emblem.
Yeah, it's like my Ricky Bobby
and that's a fact.
Puffer
and
coat.
Lifesavers, I was gonna say. Yeah, it definitely is Ricky Bobby. Shake and bake, man. Shake and bake.
Yeah, we're about to shake and bake the military.
How can you win if I'm supposed to win. He's like, I just thought one time. He's like,
it's a Ricky Bobby economy right now. Also, how can are you tired of winning yet? We're gonna win so much. Are you tired of winning yet? You're gonna be tired of winning. Are you tired of winning?
It's outrageous, dude. It's outrageous. Like, you got world-class economists coming out, people who they actually cited, and they're like, this is incorrect. Like, this is not how you do this. This is incorrect. And it's just like, this is insane. And now they're getting Elon out of Doge. They want him back at Tesla. Like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, they were so happy to have Elon. Now it feels like they're separating. The whole shit is just like in disarray.
It is. They don't know what they're doing.
What are these guys doing? Like, yeah,
I don't think that they know. I mean,
I'm trying to get in that WhatsApp chat just to see what's happening.
Honestly, it might be easy to get an invite. You could just search on Signal or whatever.
just request. I request to be added.
More information came out about that recently, where they're like, actually, they're using Gmail to communicate too.
I heard that. Well, I think he tried to get like an exception, like an exemption to not have to not use his Gmail. Maybe I read that wrong, but I thought like they requested, they tried to get like a clearance for him to use Gmail. Walt.
Ridiculous.
It's like, that's not how this works.
Ridiculous.
What are you talking about? I have Gmail. You can't have the same shit I have.
Look, I guarantee you that those chats will be way more annoying than any family group chat.
No, but if it's on WhatsApp, I'll get out whenever I want. You mute that shit. You don't have to worry about it.
That's
I can
true.
mute for 8 hours or a year. Be like, let me just.
Can you? I thought you could get out of group chats on Apple phones.
Nah, dude, I talk about this on my set. Like, I've talked about this on stage, but no, if you have an iPhone and somebody starts a group chat and puts you in that group chat, if there's one person in that group chat with an Android, nobody can leave.
Oh, wow.
Only the person who started the chat can let you out. So the joke used to be like, yo, what the fuck? I either gotta contact somebody to request to be released from this hell, or I gotta block like 75 people in my phone. Like, I'm not doing this. So, yeah, iPhone group chats are the fucking worst. I just mute them shits. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's mostly what I do. I just have mine on mute.
WhatsApp's great because on a WhatsApp group chat, most of the people, if they want to talk to you specifically, they'll at you. It's like Instagram or whatever. And so on my muted WhatsApp chats, it'll be like 135 messages. If I don't see one I scroll right to the bottom of that shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If you wanted me to know about something in this 147 fucking messages, you should have added me at least one of them.
Yeah.
So I'm cool. Softball chats, fucking family chats, this, that. Like, and then nowadays it seems like I got chats with like a husband and a wife. Why? Why the fuck do I need this? Can't I just text one of you?
Yeah.
What's up with spouses not talking to each other?
What do you mean?
Because like I told you, one family member was like, yo, I'll let you know if we come to the wedding. I just got to get with my spouse. That was weeks ago. Now I got group chats with husband and wives. Like, yo, you live in the same crib. Can't I just text one of you? And then relay the message.
I mean, I think that has a lot to do with personality and like attachment style. Like, avoidant people are just hard to communicate with in general in a relationship. So I could imagine like being in a relationship with someone that was highly avoidant. It was hard to bring up anything without there being a reaction, because I was like, is she going to react to this badly? Or is she going to completely shut down? Or is she going to rage on me? Or all these different things. So I kind of understand that.
You're saying even if you're just a messenger, you feel that could happen to you?
Absolutely.
Couldn't you just turn around and be like, here, babe, look at the phone. It wasn't me.
Depending on the day, maybe not.
I want to be avoidant so people can fucking leave me alone.
God, I wish I was avoidant, honestly.
How do I get one of these personality traits that you always talk about? The fuck?
Trauma.
I'm just me. Trauma. Jesus
no,
Christ.
I think that you're, I don't know, knowing you for so long, I think, you know, there's 4 attachment styles, basically. There's avoidant, there is secure, which clearly is the best to be. There's anxious, which is what I am for the most part. And then there's disorganized, which is basically, are you really? I don't think you are. Disorganized is like an extreme avoidant and anxious. So you flip-flop. And when someone does anxious stuff, like if your partner does anxious stuff, you tend to do avoidant stuff. And if they do avoidant stuff, then you tend to do anxious stuff. So
are you saying everybody falls into one of these 4?
One of the 4, yeah.
Damn, that's tough. Secure, avoidant, anxious. And supreme, you said?
Secure, avoidant, disorganized, and anxious.
And anxious, my bad. I don't know that's supreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I am. I don't know what I am. Maybe I'm secure.
I think that you're secure, actually.
I think
that you are. Like, just as a friendship relationship, like, I feel like studying this for, like, more than a year now, I feel that, and I've read a bunch of books about attachment styles and stuff, too, and, like, talk about it in therapy a bunch, but I feel like I know most of my friends' attachment styles for the most part. Like, if I really try to think, oh, well, how have they responded to me and how do they treat me normally? Like, you're one of my most secure relationships, and like, you're upfront. You don't avoid stuff, or you don't get like super anxious if someone is avoiding you, in my opinion.
Nah, I think I'm secure because I know I hate most people. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm secure because I know I hate most people, and I'm secure knowing that. So go fuck yourself. I don't really care. You want to be anxious around me? That's fine. Not gonna bother me. You want to be avoidant? I want you to avoid me. So be avoidant. Not a problem. I'm secure in knowing that I don't like you. So I'm cool with it. Like, yo, I'm that guy. Like, I am who I am. Like, you know, like, I don't give a fuck what somebody thinks about me, right? Like, for the most part, dude, like, I live my life the way I was raised, which I think I was raised properly, and I'm respectful and I'm nice as much as I can be. Like, I respect my elders. I love children. I don't hurt people. I don't commit crimes, any of that shit. But for the most part, yo, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool. I'm in my own little thing. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to be over here. And like, it is what it is. Like, I'm cool. You cool. I'm cool. That's kind of how I play.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I live my life and like, yo, treat people how you want to be treated, act how you want people to act around you. And that's it. The rest of it's going to go where it's going to go. And I've never had problems. I never had like big beef with anybody. I've never gotten into issues with people because of that or despite of that. And so I'm good. And I've gone to places where most people would be like, yo, you shouldn't go there. Or I've been in scenarios where most people are like, oh my God. And it is what it is, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's part of how I was raised. It's part of how I grew up and shit. So yeah, I would say I'm secure.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that's the
cool.
best way to be. And honestly, the people that have the least amount of hope are disorganized and avoidance, because 90-something% of the time, those type of attachment styles cannot move on to secure. Whereas someone that has an anxious style has like can really actually, as long as their partner is either secure or also anxious, they can both move on to be secure. You know, because it's all about how you're treated also with your partners. You know what I mean? And like most of my close friendships, like friendships I've had like with you for more than 20 years and like people I'm still friends with from childhood are pretty secure because I know how they're going to show up. And like eventually I just started like, I tend to pursue unavailable people. And just in this last year, I've realized, oh, this person is unavailable as a friend or a partner or what have you. And so I just leave it at that instead of trying to always link up and try to do stuff and it always falling through or them, you know, doing whatever they're going to do. But like, yeah, like unavailable people are just not for me. I know that. And so I know that my friends that I can count on, you know?
Yeah, I think what you said makes a lot of sense. And I think like it makes sense that those people who you've known for those long lengths of time are the most secure. I feel like you got to be secure and you got to be kind of comfortable with yourself and with others if like you're going to have those 20, 25-year relationships, like whatever it may be, friendships or whatever. And so even with like you and I, like maybe you have that anxious personality trait, but when you're around me, you don't behave anxiously.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a comfort level thing, right? And again, you know I'm secure, or you know I'm gonna show up how I'm gonna show up. So maybe it puts you at ease a little bit. But yeah, I got a few very long-term friendships, you know what I'm saying? Like, and those are pretty much my friends. Like there's a few of them and I've known them for 25, 30 years almost now. Some of them for like 10, 15 years, and they're getting more solid or whatever. But yeah, man, I went from having like a lot of friends, a lot of people that I was cool with, to like a few that are like super solid, you know? And so like that comes with age, and I prefer it this way, to be honest. And I had a blast, and I was in my 20s and shit. I mean, we, you know, running around, all sorts of people. I knew people in every city and had friends and this and that. connects and all over the place and shit. And now I'm like, I'm cool, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm good. You know, my two homies, like, you're in my bridal party. My homeboy, who I've known since he was in 6th grade, I'm 2 years older than him. I was in 8th grade. So I was fucking 13 years old since I known him. I'm 43. I'll be 43. I known him 30 years, right? I known his wife for 28 years. Like, I've known these people that are in my life and in my wedding forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and of course, my brother, who's known me since my entire life, obviously. And yeah, it's cool, man.
I think that's one of the reasons I feel like you're secure also is because a lot of secure and anxious attachment styles, a big indicator, well, they can go together well, but a big indicator is how long they've had friendships.
Word.
Like most people that are avoidant or highly disorganized attachment styles, they don't have lasting friendships past 5 to 10 years. Like max 10 years is like doing good for an avoidant. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they don't
sense.
have childhood friends. They don't, because they don't nurture these relationships. They nurture themselves usually,
That's the thing.
And that's
the
another thing about dating too, is like most of the people dating are avoidants.
Yeah, well, if you're busy nurturing yourself, it's hard to, have sex with somebody else. Is that what you
Well,
meant by
not only
nurturing
that,
yourself?
like most secure people and anxious people are in relationships, and the anxious people are either in relationships with avoidant people or secure people. But most secure people find their person pretty quickly and they stay off the market. But most of the people on the dating apps, and this is something I read recently, most of the people on the dating apps are avoidants. Like more than 50% of people on dating apps are avoidants. So it doesn't matter your attachment style if you're on a dating app, like you have a 50% chance of meeting someone that's avoidant.
That's interesting.
So when I was on dating apps, I was like, here are my attachment styles. What are yours? And thankfully I met a couple people that are like, I'm avoidant. And I was like, straight up, like, this isn't going to work with us.
Man, if a girl put on her, when I was single and I was on dating apps, if a girl put on her dating app, what are your attachment styles? I would have responded and been like, you mean like tape or glue? Like, what are you talking about here? Like, do you like thumbtacks? Cause I don't know. No, it's funny. And I was trying to make a stupid joke about obviously nurturing yourself versus having sex with others. Yeah, I don't know. But all this shit, I'm not smart enough for this, Mark. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck you're even talking about. Like, I know what you're talking about, obviously, because you and I talked about this before. But like, I'm not smart enough for this shit, bro. Like, don't come to me with this. I never had any schooling. I never had any therapy. Like, I need help. I never got the help. All right, so give me a fucking break. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, take it easy for me. Explain it to me like you're explaining it to a 3rd grader who just broke a crayon. You know what I'm saying? Because that kid's sad and upset and literally just wants to go to snack time. But no, I don't know. I don't fucking know, man.
You're funny. Yeah, you have some funny jokes about therapy.
It's interesting. I do. I have some funny jokes about some things. But no, man, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Avoidance, attachment styles and shit. I'll look into it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Why look into it when it seems like you and your fiance are doing great and y'all are probably both, she seems like very secure. I don't really know her, but I'm really excited to get to know her more. But she seems like she's pretty secure, Yeah. So
you'll tell me, I guess. I don't know. Like, well, it's too late now. She's the one. So, but yeah, I don't know. Even that. I mean, like, I'm secure. You say I'm insecure, but like, I met her late in life. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
and I mean, there may have been a time where you were anxious, maybe.
I'm sure.
But you eventually became secure and being like, oh, I really at this age, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
do what you're gonna do. I got my people that I know are loyal in my life that have been there for decades. Like
that's it. That's why I don't really worry. You know what I'm saying? Because like I know those, like you said, people who show how people show up. Like I know how my people show up. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
exactly.
No
oh man, we got a half hour in and we haven't even gotten to any topics. I kind of like that, but I honestly have forgot what topics you even sent me.
No, I mean, like that's fine. I think I just wanted to say that I don't understand why everybody loves Bill Murray, but we don't have to get too deep into it. But before we even, because Bill Murray seems like an asshole and a creep to me, but before we get into that, dude, I was thinking about this recently because again, like obviously you and I have been making music for a really long time. And I just like, what's funny is like, I never thought about, or I guess maybe I asked you a long time ago, but like, I was thinking about it the other day because I was listening. Cause like I play my Spotify and my Apple, like I mean, not my Apple, but my iTunes. Shit plays random, right? And so like I don't have like a specific like playlist, whatever. I just let it play random. I have a Spotify playlist, but it's hundreds of songs or whatever, and I smart shuffle it and shit. And so the other day I was driving and like 4 Gotham Green Quickie Mart songs came up in a row, right? Random. And I was like, oh shit, like, these guys were pretty good. But I wanted to ask you, at what point, at what age, like, or where were you? Like, what was the first time you can remember where you said, you know what, I want to make music, or I want to be a DJ or get into the music industry? I guess those are 2 different questions. Like, one was when did you first think like, yo, I want to make music or I want to be a DJ? And then when did you start to think like, yo, I want to be in this business?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't thought about that in a long time, actually. I think, yeah. I mean, we grew up having to take music lessons when we were kids, my sister and I. So, I first started
because of your parents or school?
Yeah, because my parents are both musical. Like my dad plays the guitar and sings. My mom plays some guitar, plays the piano and sings, and like ukulele and some other things. But so they were
always in your
always
house
like,
as a child.
Do what?
It was in your house as a child. Music was always like,
music was always around. Like, they never pursued it professionally, but it was just something that was always around. And their music taste was pretty terrible, but it was always around, Sure. And so I took piano for a few years as a kid, and then I moved on to guitar for a couple years, and then went through a bunch of crazy shit as an adolescent into teenage years, and then probably when I was, I think, 14 or 15, I went to my first rave. And
sounds about right.
Yeah, and we took acid, and I was like amazed with the DJ, and I danced all night long, and then just started going to raves a lot and just became obsessed with electronic music, especially drum and bass.
But at that time, you were still just a fan of this. You didn't have thoughts about, I could do this, I want to try this. You just were having fun, going to these raves, doing things you weren't supposed to be doing, and then just having a partying.
For the most part, yeah. Like, I remember being 15, and one of the guys that got me into drum and bass, I was skateboarding with, he was a senior and I was a freshman, and he had bought turntables. Okay. So, and he was like learning how to DJ. And I was like in my head, I was like really wanted to be a DJ, but it took me a couple years to get the courage because it was such a DIY thing. It was all vinyl for one. It was such a DIY
equipment back then too.
Yeah. And living in a small city in Louisiana, there's no record stores back then. There was like one record store, and they had like bullshit in Shreveport. So it wasn't until I started going to raves out of town when I was 16, and I would go with some other guys that were DJs, and so we'd go to the record stores. And finally, when I was 17, I decided that I wanted to DJ, and one of the guys was like, I'll let you play on my turntables, but you got to get your own records.
Word.
And so when I was 17, we went to a rave, and I was like living on the street at the time, and like, so we'd go out of town, and that's when I'd like make my money for the week, is like going to these raves and hustling. So I remember we were at this rave in Houston at this place called the International Ballroom, which everyone called the Eyeball. And we had all bought these big packs of pills, and they turned out to be bunk, and I ended up losing a lot of money. And the money that I made that weekend, we went to the record store the next day, and I spent like $200 on records. And that was like my first set of records, and I was like, I'm done hustling. I like decided to just stop doing all that and just focus on DJing and figure out how to become a DJ. And at that point, I was like, I just want to be a DJ. Like, I don't want to do anything else in life. I just stopped skateboarding. Like,
oh wow! So 17, you basically just dove headfirst into everything, into DJing.
Yeah, 17 this month, and I'm 44. So this month actually marks 27 years of me being a DJ.
That's good. Man.
Yeah, and then that was my junior year of high school. And then I decided to, after that summer, my mom let me move back into the house, and I got a job and lifeguarding, and I started working and saving money for turntables. And I eventually bought turntables, and didn't want to go to a 4-year school. I was like, I want to do this. I want to do DJing, but I really would like to learn how to make the music too. And found a recording school in Arizona, and that's where I went instead of college.
Full Sail?
No, Full Sail's in Florida. They might have other campuses now too, but it's the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences in Tempe, Arizona, which is still a thing.
So 17, you decide you want to be a DJ, full throttle, give up everything else, but you don't have your own turntables yet. So your boy's still letting you use his turntables. You're trying to figure out how to acquire your own turntables.
Yeah.
Do you get your own turntables before you go to Arizona, or you don't have them still by the time you get to Arizona?
Yep, I was able to get 2 turntables and a mixer.
So you were able to take them with you.
And I put out
Arizona.
like 3 mixtapes my senior year and everything. It was hustling them at school. Yeah. And
So
I'm not talking about
tapes?
CDs. I'm talking about I was dubbing tapes and
Are you
hustling
talking
them
about
hand to hand.
like blend tapes though?
Yeah.
Like you were mixing records?
Yeah,
Like you were actually blending records at that point.
Yeah, like
and putting
hour-long
them on
tapes,
tape.
so half-hour mixes
That's
on each side.
dope. That's dope.
And
so,
I would like print the labels on a printer, and I would go to Kinko's and like print the
sticker it.
covers and like make,
Word.
and hustle them at school. And I made a bunch of money, like just hustling
And so
mixtapes.
what kind of music was that?
It was all drum and bass back then.
Okay, got it.
I was
So
just completely obsessed with drum and bass back then.
That was your circle. Yeah, no. I remember obviously back when we first met, you still were heavy on that side and you maintained that. What's funny about that is like, I'm so hip hop, right? Like I'm so hip hop.
You are.
You're not, but you're fucking super hip hop, but you're much more like open to it. And you actually like other forms of music, the sound of other forms of music, in my opinion, more than you like hip hop. But you're phenomenal at making hip hop. So let's get back to that. So, okay, so now you go to Arizona. So I assume you're in Arizona for what, a couple years?
For a year. The program was a year.
So you're 18 or so. When was the first time you got booked? What was your first paid gig? Like, well, do you remember that? Like not selling mixtapes. I'm talking about when was the first time?
I remember my first gig at a
DJ?
rave. My first gig, it wasn't paid, but it was
Got it.
It was a rave
It was in
by
front
some
of people.
Yeah, like I used to DJ at this thing this guy had at his place called the Treehouse. And they it was like a very coveted thing with local DJs, and they would have after parties there and everything in Shreveport. Okay, so this is like small potatoes.
No, still though.
But a lot of people, like when we'd have raves up there, people would do the after parties there, and so I got to know a lot of New Orleans and Dallas people through that.
God.
And then some promoters moved into town, and they threw a big rave my senior year. I'm pretty sure I was 18. And
this is before Arizona though.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I was 18, and they threw this big rave, and one of the headliners, something happened and didn't show up, and they came to me and they were like, "Hey, do you want to close out the rave? Go get your records." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So a friend of mine, and one of my longest still friends, Haley, we went and got my records. And we came back. Yeah, shout out to Haley. And we came back with my records, and I played a set. But then it wasn't until I DJ'd a couple times in Phoenix at some small things.
Sure.
But it wasn't until I moved to Austin for my internship after recording school. I got an internship at a post-production studio for film and TV. And
was that through the school?
Yeah, through the school. That was like part for you to complete your curriculum.
Yeah, sure. You get a works program.
So I immediately started going out and trying to, meet people at raves and 21 and under clubs because I was 20.
Yeah.
And I met some guys and joined a DJ crew and started getting gigs at We had I don't know if you remember Club M in Austin. You remember Club M?
Of course.
So yeah, my first residency was at Club M. Naughty Wednesdays is what it was called, Naughty Wednesdays, and they had like house music downstairs, and we did the drum and bass upstairs. Yeah, and that was like my first residency. It was at Club M, and I was there for a little more than a year at Club M.
And that's crazy, dude.
And those gigs were sometimes paid. Sometimes,
but that's when it's. I mean, that's really where it started. Because I mean, sometimes paid, but you were making income off of DJing. Again, I'm not saying you were
not much. I mean, it was like $50. I was excited,
Yeah, you were able to buy a fucking taco. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like off the deal, but that's fine. You were still able to get a taco for playing music, not cash. So that's interesting, and I don't know if I ever knew that was the reason, or that's what brought you to Austin. But that DJ crew, did that DJ crew include Ross Roper?
No, that didn't. Like, actually, I met Ross Roper when I was. Yeah, shout out to Ross. Hope you're doing all right, buddy. Yeah, that didn't include Ross Roper. I was never in a crew with him. They had their own crew, but I was in a crew called the Semiotics.
Okay.
But I met Ross Roper when I was working at Mars Music, which is, for those that don't know, it was like a Guitar Center. But Texas, it's not around anymore. But
or Southern based.
Yeah, but that's how I know.
You met Haps there. That's where you met Haps as well.
That's where I met Haps, which led me to meet you.
Shout out to Haps as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you left Austin, I believe, either early 02 or late 01, yeah? Because I think you had just left when I got there.
Left in 2001 and went back to Louisiana, yep.
Yeah, so it was towards the end of 01, I think, if I remember correctly, even though I wasn't there. But I moved to Austin in 2002, and yeah, Club M was still a thing. As a matter of fact, Austin is the first place I ever got on a stage. I wasn't even living there at the time. I was just visiting. And I was like freestyle rapping in New York and shit. And like, I was 2 years out of high school basically. And I was like, had no direction or whatever. And, I'm in the streets rapping and shit, freestyle rapping. And my cousin was like, yo, come down, take a look at the city. Like he was living there or whatever. And he was trying to open up like he was trying to get like a record store, converted it to a label or whatever it may be, put a studio in there and shit. And so we used to go, I went down to visit or whatever. And we go out at night. And I don't know if you remember this, but there used to, maybe not because you were working on Wednesday nights apparently, but there used to be Hip Hop Hump Day, which was a freestyle show. Yep. And it was like Bavu Blake's and my homie Element 7D. And so it's funny because I mean, and obviously, we used to do interviews and shit. They would always ask like, how'd you start rapping and et cetera, et cetera. And so I always credit my homie from New York, this Italian kid, my boy Dan, used to go by Dan Deuce. I think he might have changed up his artist name recently, but Dan Deuce basically got me into freestyle rapping, and I didn't know anything about structure, bars, this, that, or anything. I just used to rap over the radio because at that time we didn't know how to get instrumentals, et cetera, et cetera. So we used to just ride around in my car and freestyle whatever bullshit. And so then I go to Austin, I go to Hip Hop Hump Day one night, and my cousin's homeboy, this kid Bradley, who was like this crazy white boy from like, Arlington, Fort Worth area that my cousin had known since high school. He was like one of those type of dudes that like went to places and would just get to know everybody. So like he knew everybody. So he was like, we were talking to him, like my cousin was like, yo, my cousin started rapping, like he's dope at freestyle, whatever. And so then my boy, homie Bradley was like, oh, cool. And he goes up to the stage and he's talking to fucking people or whatever. And I'm not thinking anything of it. And then he comes back and he's like, yo, you got to go to the stage. They're going to let you rap. And I was like, I wasn't ready for that shit. Like, and I remember like it was yesterday. I got up there and Element 7D was like encouraging me or whatever. I kicked the freestyle. It's probably sucked. And then I was like nervous. I was ready to go. Like I threw the mic basically and I was like ready to get the fuck off the stage. And Element grabbed me and he's like, nah, bro. And I was like, what's up? And he's like, now we got to go back and forth. Back and forth. I'm not used to this. So anyways, I did that shit and I always credit Element. Then like when I moved to Austin, he would like have me at his crib, studio, shit. Element's one of the best rappers I've ever fucking heard. Shout out to you, Ellie. But then he taught me bars and he taught me structure and all that type of shit. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. But yeah, Austin is where I got my first like taste of like performing in front of people from a stage or whatever. And it was on a Wednesday night. And it was fucking Hip Hop Hump Day. That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember Hip Hop Hump Days just because we were in direct competition with them.
Yeah. And that shit used to fucking go off. I loved it. You know what I mean? Because like, again, up until that point, like I had never seen that live, right? I mean, like I left New York. I was 19 years old. Like I went to shows and shit, but like we used to go to shows. Like I went to real concerts and shit. You know what I mean? Like or whatever. And so I'm seeing a bunch of these local kids that like are fucking just hungry and they're freestyling, dude, like for hours the whole night. So it was phenomenal. That's interesting, dude. I never, and then you and I linked up. By the time, see, that's the thing. By the time you and I linked up, which wasn't, I mean, now that you look at the timeline, it really wasn't that far out from when you really started.
Yeah.
But to us, like, yo, you were an established name. Like you had weight, you know, in your spot. Like, so when we got introduced to, yo, the homie from New Orleans at the time, again, that's the easiest way to say it, right? And then later on, I realized Shreveport does that. But yo, the homie from New Orleans is going to have us come and do a Mardi Gras show. Because at that time, we had the record label and we had this small conglomerate, which we talked about a little bit before. Gabriel Luna was part of that collective and all that. And yo, the homie from New Orleans is going to book us for Mardi Gras. So like to a kid from New York who's never really been to things like that, I was like, Mardi Gras? Like, that's where they show the titties for the beans. Like, I've been wanting to go to this thing. You know what I mean? And so, to us, you were kind of way at that point, like way ahead of us, or me at least in my mind. And then once you and I got cool, and I realized like how dope you were and the music that was, you know, that you were making and shit, and like, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be easy to fucking vibe with or whatever. And here we are, 5 volumes of Hayes Diaries later. A lot of production on my solo album later and shit, mixing almost every record I've ever done, for the most part.
22 plus years later.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We met in 03, dude. And so here we are. Like, it's fucking crazy. And I mean, Mardi Gras just passed. So yeah, 23 plus. Fucking nuts. Nuts, dude. Time fucking flies. We are old.
It really does, yeah.
Yeah. And we started the hair growing competition at the same time. And you can see how that went. Yeah. Can't win them all. You know what I'm saying? Can't win them all.
Oh, I knew I was gonna win that contest from the beginning. When you brought it up, I was like, "Yeah, of course. We're gonna put money on this." You were like, "Nah, let's just see what we can do."
Yeah, no money. We're friends, you know. It's all amongst friends. No, because I had long hair. Like there was a time in my life where I had hair down to like, you know, close to my shoulder and shit, and like it went. But nah, I've been buzzing my shit since I was like 16. So
I thought, you know, I don't know if we've talked about this much, but like I thought when y'all came to Austin. Like I didn't, I knew Habs.
You talking about?
I mean, when y'all came to New Orleans from Austin, yeah, I knew Habs.
Yeah, that was it, I think.
Yeah, I had never met Zeely or Gabe or you. And
I don't think you met my cousin either.
He wasn't there the first time.
No, he came. Brown came.
Are you sure? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm almost positive because I think he.
You sure that
drove.
wasn't the second time?
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Y'all, I feel like y'all were in a Honda Accord. So was that him?
No, that was probably my car.
Gotcha.
Nah. Nah, that wasn't my car. Because I moved to Austin with my Mazda. So yeah, that was him. Yeah, 100%. So he probably drove. We might have taken 2 cars though, because I don't think we probably put all 5 of us into one car. You know what it is? Zilly and Gabe might have drove themselves. And me and Haps.
Honestly, I can't remember.
Might have rode out my cousin. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking 23 years ago, but.
Yeah, but I remember one of the craziest things was we were smoking and you guys would only hit the green. And I was like, this is crazy. Like y'all would hit the green and then knock it out and repack. And I was just like, holy crap. And I remember after y'all left, I don't know if I've ever told you this.
Yeah, I remember you told me.
I was
scooped it all up.
Yeah, because after y'all left, I was like, really trying to make it as just music. And I had like a part-time job that I barely ever worked. And so I could not afford weed. And I was just like, I must have smoked on what y'all dumped out in the ashtray for like a week.
Now let me take this.
There was like a quarter of weed.
Let me take this, dude. Let me take this full circle because think about that. That's how you started, right? I can't remember what year it was, but my cousin Zubin got married and he had his bachelor party in New Orleans. I'm almost positive it was Zubin, but maybe it was a different cousin. But one of my cousins got married and they had their bachelor party in New Orleans. And I swear to you, on my mother's life, my brother was there. He heard the whole shit. We were hanging out and we were walking somewhere in New Orleans, and a group of people walked by us, and literally, I swear to you, you still don't, I don't know if you believe this. I remember when it first happened, you did not believe it. Yo, a group of people walked by us and they started talking amongst themselves. They were like still 6-7 feet from us. And they were like, yo, I think that was Quickie Mart. And then the other person was like, nah, there's no way. And it's like, yo, I think that was Quickie Mart. Like, I'm pretty sure. And so like, you went from not knowing if you could even make fucking a living off music to becoming a pretty big name and known pretty well inside of that city and inside of that industry throughout, past that city, to LA, to playing internationally and shit like that. And so I'm one of those people that like, I like to understand. I know you're my best friend, but like, I like to understand like, yo, what made you do what you do? Like, you could have decided on a whole lot of things. Like, I know your history. You went to military school. You had other opportunities to do different things. You were hustling. You were doing all these things. I like to understand, like, yo, at what point did you say, you know what, it's going to be this? And like, and comparatively to where you are today through that journey, I'm always fascinated by people and just like seeing, yo, like, how'd you decide? Like, yo, I want to be a DJ. Cause like, I couldn't even imagine trying to attempt to do what I've seen you do, right? With DJing. And so to me, and like, look, I tinkered, like I played with the MPC and I had Fruity Loops and I thought I could make beats for like a day and a half. And then I realized that I can't. But yeah, I'm always intrigued and interested to hear like people kind of how they got to where they are. So I appreciate you sharing a lot of that. And a lot of that stuff I either didn't remember, I didn't know. And so it's nice to get a refresher.
I think things would be a lot different now. Like, I don't think it's as cool to be a DJ. And back then it was all vinyl and it was such an art and there was no sync button. And it was like people really put it into their craft. There's no YouTube to teach you how to DJ. Like, there was no like at raves.
Yeah, the same can be said about rap.
Yeah.
The same could be said about rapping as a rapper, right? It's not cool to be a rapper. Like, it's cool, but like, it's not cool.
Yeah, but like learning is so much different for DJs now. Like you used to have to go to the raves and you would only want to, like, most people were concerned about dancing and the music, like not the DJ on stage. And a lot of the time there wasn't even really a stage. Like the DJs were at floor level with just barricades around them.
Yeah.
And you would just, when I first started DJing, the way I would learn the most was VHS tapes and also, going to raves and shows and getting right up there and watching the DJs to see what they do.
But VHS tapes of what? Other people recording DJs, like close up?
Well, DJs? When I first, like, I always wanted to scratch getting into it. And like, even when I was a senior in high school, I was like trying to learn how to scratch, but not until I was like 20 was I buying like DMC competitive scratch battle mix.
Oh, okay. Got it.
To really learn how to scratch. And that's pretty much how I learned to scratch, is watching other people, talking to other DJs, but mostly buying VHS tapes and watching competitions. And that's how I kind of learned to scratch. And then just like clearly practicing forever and ever and ever. But
why did you ever think about doing one of those DMCs or anything like that?
I did a couple battles. I even battled in the Red Bull thing later in, but I really didn't want to. And they pressed me. And I didn't enjoy the experience, to be honest. And one big gripe I have about it is I saw the judges' sheet, and I really think it was rigged. Because I saw the judges' sheet, and my scores were the only ones that were scratched out and re-numbered. Because otherwise, my points would have determined that I won. But two of the judges' tallies were scratched out and renumbered. Interesting. To lower your scores. Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, there's always going to be some sort of weird political.
So, yeah. Right? And that's, I mean, and a lot of DMC stuff was like that anyways. And the Red Bull 3 style is not really indicative of a real, like, DJ battle, in my opinion. It's more like tough. A mashup popularity contest kind of weird thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like it's a popularity contest.
I don't think they do it anymore, but yeah, like I don't know, like I just don't think I would be a DJ anymore in this day and age, because it's just so. It's a sea of people. Everyone is a DJ. It has everything to do with visuals. It has nothing to do with the art form. It's like,
yep.
No disrespect to No disrespect to
these
pretty
guys aren't doing
girls or
anything.
like hot guys or whatever the
That's
case,
fine.
but like that's all it takes right now is like to have a light show, to play the popular songs, and to have like some kind of aesthetic that is pleasing for social media. And
Dude, they don't blend anymore. There's no BPM matching. There's none of that shit. Like I go to places and I'm just like, yo, that's the transition. I'm
I
like,
know,
that's what you.
I know. It's so
So, like-
disappointing. And
And
even
they
like
don't even
even in
play
the
it.
resurgence of the vinyl scene, like it's really disappointing because people are just like, oh, they're on vinyl, and that's like the only gimmick you need to be a DJ. It doesn't matter if you're have a good mix or a blend or if you can scratch or not. Like it is like, oh, they're on vinyl, and that is like cool enough. It's just aggravating.
Which is not even like a thing. Do you remember when,
I mean,
like,
at my gigs now at the club, I just bring my computer.
that's all you need to bring.
Like
And
I
you
don't
can press the
have
button.
any vinyl that I bring up there. I play mostly top 40 radio shit.
That's the thing, you know what I mean? And it's all push button, everything like that. Do you remember when I used to like be at your gigs and shit and you would be like, yo, I gotta go to the bathroom. You'd play Sugar Hill Gang or like a 7-minute song.
Or Knee Deep by
'Cause you're-
Parliament because it's like a 15-minute song.
Because you're like, yo, just in case there's a fucking line at the bathroom, you're not gonna have to or you would tell me like, yo, when this shit's getting close, hit this button. But like
Yeah.
you would line it up, right? And so, or like cross this fader or whatever, and you would line it up. Now I see fucking DJs leave the booth and they're gone for 10, 15, 20 minutes. The fucking thing is blending, it's scratching, it's mixing. I'm like, dog, you push play on a recording, like,
Yeah.
and you're acting like you're fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Like you ain't doing anything. You know what I mean? So yeah, that shit is a fucking fraud. It's fraudulent now. At your height, whatever years you want to call
As a
that.
person or my career?
No, you haven't reached your height as a person. You're terrible still. You got way.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
go.
my physical height.
No. I mean, like as your peak your peak level of like music. Now, fuck your height. I wish you lost a few inches. What did you prefer to do more? DJ, live gigs, or produce music?
I think producing. Although there
Why?
was like when at my peak of my music career though, there was like a good balance of like big gigs, club gigs, and being in the studio, which was like pretty much
Sure.
every day for me. I had a routine where I, would pretty much be making music almost every day. Even if it was
Yeah.
garbage, like I was, I think a lot of producers, like 90% of what you make is going to be trash. So,
Of course.
but yeah, I think it was a combination. It would be hard for me to say both.
One or the other.
I mean, there was definitely a time where I was doing mostly DJing.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
there was a time where I was doing mostly production.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I asked that question is because, I mean, you've done some very big DJ gigs, right? Like like big gigs, but you've also produced records for some big artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
And
the
so
good sweet spot for me was like, I don't know, between 2010 and 2000, probably 14, where I was like making my own stuff when I was like, because I did some
Yeah.
great big gigs with rappers, but I was DJing for them. So I wasn't really part of the act. I was just like a paid band member at that point.
Sure.
But
But you also did many festivals as your own self.
Absolutely.
As your, you know what I mean? And like, I mean, I know I went with Bonnaroo with you for 1 year. I went to one Bonnaroo with you, and I can still remember that fucking line outside of that silent disco tent, boy. And when that shit packed in, and other sets you did there where it was thousands of people, dude. And so you've done big gigs. You've done big gigs with rappers as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to me because, for the most part, like I'm not around nearly as many DJs, or I wasn't back then. I'm not now either, but back then I wasn't around nearly as many DJs, but I was around a lot of producers, right? And so that's not a question you could ask them because they ain't fucking DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like Josh, I always think about Josh. You know what I mean? I think about Josh a lot, right? Rest in peace to Josh. But like, Josh was a great producer. I don't know if Josh could have DJ'd. Like, it's a different thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I
For
always
sure.
wanted to ask you which you like better or which you preferred to do.
Josh could definitely not have DJ'd.
No, I mean, shout out to Josh.
I
Josh
miss
is
him
nuts.
so much, man.
I know, dude. Me too. I think about him a lot, actually.
Me too.
Recently, I've been thinking about him, but I just, Josh obviously was a connection to a lot of things. Josh the Goon. That's in case you guys are wondering. Shout out to Josh the Goon. But yeah, Goon Life, man, Eddie Venom and all those guys. But like again, we were around all those guys, you know, Astro and these type of people. It's interesting to hear your perspective on it, just because I don't know. I guess I take you for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like just knowing you for so long and knowing I could be like, yo, Mart, send me a beat. Like it's nothing, you know? And so to me, I guess I take you for granted, but it's always interesting to hear the story and to kind of understand like where you decided to kind of go and shit. And maybe one day we'll get into like my, you know, trajectory of rap or whatever. But I appreciate you giving me that info, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks for asking me that question. That was unexpected. It's nice to talk about. It's been a long time since anyone's even asked me any of that stuff. So
I hear you, man. I hear you. But no,
it makes me miss home.
Home is where the heart is. But what it should make you miss is making music. And can you start making some beats so we can work on this next project?
I absolutely can. I've been in install hell trying to get my new computer set up. It's overwhelming. It's such, if anyone produces on a computer and has been for years and has like legal licenses for software, they know the struggle. It is such a pain in the ass. And there's so many independent developers that are out of business or went under, or it's a guy in his garage and fucking somewhere in Scandinavia that you just have to wait for him to respond to an email. And it has been such a headache, but it's actually pretty cool. There's been a couple independent developers like Baby Audio, shout out to Baby Audio. But I couldn't find a license key for one of the first plugins I bought for them. I looked everywhere and I explained my story. They said, oh, we see these authorizations, but we can't find this one. It's $100 plugin if I was to buy it again. And I'm like, there's already some stuff that I have to buy that I'm just like dreading, which is like, it's tallying up really quick in the hundreds, close to 1,000. And I'm like, God, these are plugins that are essential for me in my process. But the guy was like, oh, I understand. Here's a license key.
Wow, that's dope.
And I was like, yo, this never happens. Like if that was Waves or any of these big commercial plugin manufacturers.
Sorry, buddy.
That would never happen. So like I was like, you guys got a customer for life.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And I actually went and bought one of their plugins today.
Awesome.
Because they put out a new update and it was a paid update, and I was like, you know what? They gave me a license key. This is worth it for the update. Yeah,
support the business. Support the business.
Yeah. So shout out to Baby Audio. Sponsor us.
Yeah, words. Seriously, sponsor us. That's fun. That's funny, man. But no, yeah, that's get through that install hell, and then let's get to some volume 6 shit.
Yeah, I'm down, man. And I don't know. I think that is like actually a pretty good goal to have after you tie the knot, and maybe.
Speaking of that, I might need you to DJ the wedding. Sorry to spring it on you.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm only kidding. Hell no, fuck that. You're a guest. Fuck that. No, we gotta.
No,
DJ.
I would actually be like, no, sorry, dude.
What's funny though
I've done friends' weddings and they turn out so badly, and I don't get to enjoy. I don't get to enjoy the party.
No, I would never make you do that. But what I am going to need you to do is judge this DJ and then let me know how you felt about it.
Oh, that is a given. I can definitely judge the DJ and give you my critique.
I'm confident in him.
One last question, just to have you on the phone about that. Like, what did you guys give him a playlist, or like have you told him what you want? Like, how is that working with the DJ? Because I'm assuming you're gonna be a little particular about music, yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm not nearly as particular with it as I used to be, dude. I don't really care. And I mean, again, it's a little bit tricky too, because I'm not really going to be paying attention too much to it, right? Like I'm going to be so fucking all over the place at the reception that like, I'm not going to be like, yo, why the fuck didn't he play, 50 Cent, whatever it may be, Wanksta, whatever the fuck, just to use an example. But what I did tell him, what we did tell him was that there are certain things that we don't want played. So like, for instance, there's a no Taylor Swift rule. So like you ain't gonna hear no Taylor Swift.
That's a great rule.
Yeah. There's a couple other things that my girl doesn't fuck with, so you're gonna not hear that. But the thing the thing about it is it's tough because I couldn't just hire any old DJ, right? Because there's a bunch of different cultures that we're combining between the two of us. So like I'm Indian, she's Indian. My parents are from India. Her parents are from independent nations in the Caribbean. Her dad's from Guyana. Her mom's from Jamaica. All three of those places have very unique music, right? Then I'm two different types of Indians. I'm Punjabi and I'm Sindhi. There's different music with those two fucking things. She, like Caribbean music, as you know, has 1,000 different genres. So it's like, we needed a DJ that could play Indian music, Caribbean music, English, American music, hip hop, pop music. And so it's like, and be able to, like we were just talking about, actually seamlessly blend them, right? Like at least BPM match as best you can. Like I don't want to hear you go from Mad Lion to fucking Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to work that way. But we spoke to him. We interviewed a couple different DJs. We spoke to him. We listened to some of his shit. And we were given, you know, like she's got some cousins that are in the music business on the Caribbean side and on the production and DJing. And also she's got family they do events. Like, so the guy that we actually ended up tapping had gotten recommendations from her cousins as well. Like her cousins co-signed them to, at least were like, yo, these are the guys you should reach out to or whatever. So we picked one of those guys, looking forward to seeing what he can do. But yes, there are songs that are queued that we have to give him. So like for everybody, like the bridal party entrance and shit, we have to give him those songs and be like, yo, play this for this person, play this for this person, whatever. And so for you, it might be Highwaymen. We'll see. But no, he's cool. I mean, I'm going to let him do his thing. That's another thing about me, as you know, brother. Like with music, people, you know, because I would talk to like rappers, like, yo, you want to jump on this song? Or I would ask a producer for beat, whatever. And they're like, yo, what do you want? Like, what do you want me to do here? And so my answer would always be like, bro, if I am going to tell you what I want, I'll just do it myself. I'm asking you to do it because I fuck with your artistry, right? I want you as the artist to tell me what you want to do. I've done this with Jackie Tone. I've done this with MC No One. I've done this with Jess, Hudak. Like, this is how I get down. Like, if I'm doing something collaborative with you, then I want your input on it. Otherwise, it's a work for hire, and I'll tell you, yo, I want C sharp here, and then drop this, and then this, drop this. I really only do that shit with you because you're my partner in music, and so I'd be like, yo, drop the thing out here, or acapella it here. Otherwise, yo, do what you want to do. So even with him at the wedding, brother, this ain't your first fucking rodeo. DJ this wedding like you want to have the best wedding you've ever DJ'd, and he'll do it, and it'll be great. You know what I mean? So make sure you save room for those strawberry tequila cocktails.
Oh, I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with that.
Are you back to drinking a lot?
No, you know, I was sober for probably like 6 months after my divorce, but
you took a long
I
time.
think I drink about once every 2 weeks or so.
Since then?
So twice a month, yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah, so that's fine. Build up a little tolerance. Oh, dude, April 1st, I cut all processed sugar.
Oh, how's that going?
It's going well. It's going well. I don't have any cravings. I'm good. Like, you know what? The only thing I hate is coffee. Coffee is fucking terrible.
By it, like itself.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand
like
how
black
coffee became this. No, I put milk in it, but still, it's fucking terrible. Black coffee is probably even worse. But it's just bitter. Like, why do I want this bitter ass warm milk? Basically, like, how did this thing become a $1 trillion industry? Is what I guess I'm asking.
Because it was a drug.
Yeah, I'm saying
like it was considered more of a drug when coffee exploded on the scene, you know, in whatever the 18th century or whatever.
Yeah, that's why Coca-Cola got big. I get it. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, coffee is fucking terrible without sugar in it. So that's the one. That's the only negative. Where
can you imagine Coca-Cola without sugar?
No, I couldn't. I don't.
It'd probably be pretty bad. Yeah,
I'm off. We go to a place yesterday to go grab dinner, and they got all these dope new flavors of sodas out now. I'm like, what the fuck? They got like cherry lime Sprite. I'm like, I always wanted a cherry Sprite. Like, what the fuck? Like, they're making literally like they got a Shirley Temple in a can. I'm talking to my girl. There's like a blackberry Pepsi, this, that, blackberry Dr. Pepper. I'm like, yo, babe, as soon as I stop drinking sodas, all the fucking ill sodas come out. Like, that's what the fuck this is? And
no,
I was
it's
like,
just because you're not, like, that shit's been out for a while, but
I'm just now
you're like, you're like, oh shit, all the shit I can't have.
You know? I'm like, man, fuck this. So I ended up just drinking my goddamn water last night, which I've been doing. But no, I'm good. I'm good with it. I'm going to see how long I can keep it going. But it's like cigarettes to me, like now. Because like when I decided that I quit cigarettes, December 2015, that was it. Like that day that I stopped, I didn't need them. There was no more like, yo, I need this. Like, yeah. I could have now they're fucking disgusting or whatever, but like I could have a cigarette and never go back to it. So I feel like the sugar shit's going to be the same way. Like once I make my mind up about something, bro, and I want to stop doing it, then I'm done. Like I can go back to it. I'll have a fucking Snickers bar. I'll be all right. You know what I mean? I won't be diving back into like pockets full of Starburst like I used to be in fucking high school or whatever it was. Because I was a fucking candy addict, dude.
Yeah.
Like candy. I mean, you remember when I was in LA, candy. There was always candy. There was always snacks. I never had real food in my fucking apartment, but I always had candy and fucking snack foods and this nonsense and fucking Snapples and sodas. And it's like, yo, can I get a water? Not here.
Oh my God, the Snapples. I forgot about your Snapple thing.
Snapples, water. I mean, Coke, fucking bottles, this, that. Like, yo, people be like, yo, can I get water? I'd be like, not here. But I got a 12-pack of Coke.
Yeah, I remember always like not having to guess what you wanted if I was going to the store. I'd just get a Snapple.
Snapple, like a Starburst pack or a Snickers. The kid's happy,
Starburst.
Dude. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Skittles, I was good. I don't fuck with none of that shit no more. Yeah, I don't fuck with none of that shit.
Well, yo, I think it's about time to wrap it up. We went way over, but it was good today, and I'm glad we caught up about a lot of things that we haven't talked about in a long time. So hopefully people get to know us a little better. Don't forget to like and subscribe, everyone. Please, it will help us a great deal.
Yeah, definitely. Go to the YouTube page, subscribe to that, you know, run the numbers up, and yo, comment, man. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know, you know, who you think has better hair, you know. Let us know who you think has a better outfit, whatever the fuck it may be, man. Just let us know something, you know? Put some comments in. Let us know you guys are alive. But no, we're, Mart, I'm always happy to talk to you, my brother. And yeah, it was nice to reminisce on some old school shit that we haven't talked about in a long time. And so maybe we'll do some more of that stuff in future episodes or whatever. But I love you, my brother. I'll talk to you next week.
Love you, my man. Peace.
My man.
I'm high pace with a high rise taste. Addicted to the vapors of paper.
Embark in the darkest sins in the hearts of men. Every rapper that rap ain't celebrity.
I'm high pace with a high rise taste. Addicted to the vapors of paper.
Embark in the darkest sins in the hearts of men.